How can we sell more liberty by criticizing less? Yeah, let's talk about that.
Instead of focusing on winning arguments, we're teaching the basic fundamentals of sales and marketing and how we can use them to win in the world of politics, teaching you how to meet people where they're at on the issues they care about. Welcome to the Brian Nichols Show.
Well, happy Thursday there, folks. Brian Nichols here on the Brian Nichols Show, and thank you for joining us on, of course, the fun-filled episode. I am, as always, your humble host, coming you live from our Stratus IP studios here in lovely Eastern Indiana. Don't let cyber attacks or outdated business technology put your company at risk. Learn more at briannicholsshow.com/Stratus IP. Stratus IP, business technology simplified. Criticism. Who likes being criticized? Show of hands? Anyone? No. Nobody likes being criticized. As a matter of fact, many of us not only go out of our way to avoid criticism, but also we remember those who have criticized us to the point that we will hold grudges for decades on end. I remember there's an old lady at my church when I was growing up, and she held a grudge to another old lady at that church, and they held that grudge literally as long as I could remember until they both passed away, holding on to that grudge. And you look at libertarians, looking at a lot of you specifically, we hold grudges when we're talking to our friends on the left and the right in terms of being able to say, yeah, we can't let things go in order to grow our movement and to actually build some bridges and move things forward. So I'm going to talk about how we can maybe go ahead and sell more liberty by criticizing less. And we're going to do so by a story. And I promise this story is a little weird when you hear the way I'm going to frame it, but it makes sense in terms of how it works when we're talking about criticizing less in order to sell more. And this goes back to a personal story for me, and that is way back when I was a very, very heavy guy. Back when I weighed 385 pounds, way back in the day. Yeah, I know. Believe it or not, yours truly used to weigh 385 pounds. And when I did, I was secretly miserable. And I held a lot of those feelings inside, regardless of what my physical health was actually doing to me. I knew I had to make a change, but I wouldn't do it. And I remember the kids in school, the really popular kids, the athletic kids, the kids I secretly was really envious of, trying to like get me to get more healthy, to try and encourage me to do things that were more physically fit, but they didn't do so in a nice way, really backhanded, ways of saying, hey, you should probably lose some weight, Brian, and you might, feel a little bit better, maybe have better luck with the ladies. And, that was something that it hit me. I was like, no, I'm not going to change the way I am. I'm perfect the way I am. I've heard that a million times. No, I wasn't perfect the way I was. As a matter of fact, those guys were right. I would have been happier. But see, here's the thing. They were criticizing me. They were calling me very insulting and mean names because I was overweight, on the side of trying to, at least it seemed to, make me better. I guess that's to be determined. But regardless, I look at that example in my life where I was criticized, and I'm sure we all have moments where we've been criticized and we've fought back. We've pushed back. As a matter of fact, when I was criticized about my weight, would in turn eat more. That was my coping mechanism. So when I would get criticized, I actually ended up doing worse to my health by causing more problems. But it was when someone, in this case, it was a doctor, a family doctor of mine, who expressed not criticism, but love and empathy and caring about not me simply just losing weight, but because of what it would do to me if I didn't. And that person caring for me as a person beyond just them being a doctor, and that's their job is to make me healthy. Because they knew beyond the personal stuff, but also the physical stuff, that I was not healthy. And showing me the love and showing me the vision that I needed in order to take that step forward wasn't through the lens of criticism, but through the lens of love. Now, that doesn't mean we don't criticize ever. It's important to call things out where necessary, but it's important to do so in a smart, strategic, and effective manner. As a matter of fact, yours truly wrote an article way back in 2018, I think it was, called Dear Fat People, which ruffled a lot of feathers. But it wasn't a matter of criticism, but a matter of love. In my article, it was about not reaffirming and encouraging negative behaviors that actually cause more pain, cause more problems for the people that they're supposed to be speaking to, but rather instead going the bout of saying, I love you enough because I've been in your shoes, quite literally, formerly weighing 385 pounds, to know that that mentality that you hold is self-destructive. And I want to help break that because I love you. I want to see you do better. We saw this with COVID. A lot of us, with our family and friends who were so blindly and militantly jumping on board with the COVID narrative, we didn't criticize. We were trying to, and I'll say, I almost said the word save, but truly, in a lot of our worlds, save the ones we loved. So we can show our ideas and our beliefs and get more people on board with them, not through criticizing others, but rather by embracing them with love. Libertarians, looking at you guys, this is so important for us in order to grow the movement because we have for so long ignored so many folks that we think we should be criticizing because they have somehow wronged us. So let's in turn change the perspective. Let's change the mentality and let's start leading with love. So my buddy Shane Hazel's been doing over his amazing show, Radical. Go ahead and give him a subscribe. There you go, Shane. But also, please go ahead and support folks who are encouraging the message of love. So, a different episode, we had a little bit of a snafu with our scheduling of our guests. So I said, what should we talk about today? And this is one thing that's been on top of my mind, especially when I go on social media. And I just constantly, I'm looking right now, I see the Twitter feed going, it's constant negativity. So if you want to see things get better, it starts with you. It starts with us being the change that we want to see in the world. So a short episode for today, and hopefully you got some value from it. If you did, go ahead, give me a share over on social media, and go ahead and tag me at B Nichols Liberty. Twitter and Facebook is where you can find me most of my time. Otherwise, please, if you enjoyed the episode, let me know about it. Brian at BrianNicholsShow.com. And also, did you know you can support the show for literally less than a cup of coffee? How about $1.99 a month? Yeah? Work for you? Head to BrianNicholsShow.com/support, and you can become an audience insider. Help support the program, $1.99 a month. It goes right back into the show. And as a special little bonus for you audience insiders, you're going to get monthly Brian Nichols Show behind the scenes panels with everybody who has their hand here in the show in some way, shape, or form. We're going to do a monthly roundtable. I'm really excited to share that conversation with you guys because we have some really awesome folks here that work on the show. So please do me a favor if you want to get more value from the show, but also help the show as we grow. Go ahead and give us some love. $1.99 a month as our audience insider over on Patreon. One more time, BrianNicholsShow.com/support. And by the way, candidates, 'tis the season. I know we're prepping for candidates already in 2023. And if you are thinking about running for office, whether it's local office or state office, and you're saying, yeah, I just don't know what that requires, what it entails, what do I have to do for fundraising? How do I build a list? Do I have to knock on actual people's doors? Is that a thing we do? Yeah, we talk about all that and more over on our candidate school, which is over on our Patreon, $9.95 a month. And you can get all of the inside tips from yours truly, plus noted experts in the world of candidate elections and more. So please go ahead. If you want some help from the folks who know what we're doing, go ahead and join our candidate school. Enroll now. Yes, our $9.95 a month. Go ahead and, I mean, really, you look at the alternatives, like what, thousands and thousands of dollars for consultants. So yeah, this is the smart and really, truly risk-free approach for you candidates out there looking for some help. Otherwise, beyond that, last thing I want to go ahead and talk about is our awesome store over at Proud Libertarian. Go ahead to BrianNicholsShow.com/shop. Or just go to the Brian Nichols Show website and click the link. You can do that too. That's for everything that we talked about today. But you can find shirts like what I'm wearing today, our Magic Money Tree shirt, What Happened in 1971 shirt. Now that's what I call Tyranny shirt and more. We have backpacks, we have snapbacks, we have hoodies, anything you can think of, we have it over at the shop. So please go ahead, give the show some, or the shop some support and the show some support by going ahead and purchasing some awesome stuff. And also, it's a libertarian-owned business, so you're supporting libertarians as well. One more time, briannicholsshow.com/shop. And by the way, sorry, I forgot, use code TBNS at checkout, 10% off your order. That's all I got for you guys. I'm not sure who we are going to have for tomorrow's episode. Trying to get today's guest on tomorrow's episode. We're going to work on that scheduling. Otherwise, just do me a favor, hit that subscribe button so you don't have to miss a single episode, regardless, 5 days a week here, Monday through Friday on the Brian Nichols Show. By the way, podcast listener, which I know 95% of you are, we have a podcast version of the show on YouTube, which has full video. Hey there, YouTube, Rumble, as well as over on Odyssey, wherever it is. Again, hit that subscribe button, little notification bell so you don't miss a single time we go live. And by the way, I'm going to go ahead and leave yesterday's episode here for you to join if you're watching here on the YouTubes, where we had a conversation with Brad Leo Lyon. He's the director of the awesome flick, which is Let's Party. And it talks about breaking down the duopoly. Tired of Democrats and Republicans as your only option? Well, let's go ahead and check out what we can do to go ahead and change the conversation. So go ahead and check that episode out, plus all 643 other episodes of the program. But that's all I got for you guys. That being said, Brian Nichols signing off here on the Brian Nichols Show. Stop criticizing each other. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks for listening to the Brian Nichols Show. Find more episodes at briannicholsshow.com.